Okay, Coach, autumn has arrived in the Mid-Atlantic region of the U.S., and it is a glorious afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. His first carry. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
On second and 15 now. Carr. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
The Raiders on the move, a couple of big plays in succession. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Carr gives it off to Washington. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
From the 40 now on second down, Carr. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the first carry for Austin Eckler. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running on first down, Eckler. Shifts past him. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Eckler. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
On 2nd and 2, Jackson. And he finds Austin complete. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards the pickup there. So they gave up the early touchdown. This has been a pretty good response. Nice drive, taking it down 1st and goal.
And I know all the cliches jump in, right? Don't get away from your game plan too early. Make sure you're settled down. Don't panic. But it's all true, isn't it? Because otherwise, you get out.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 40, the 30, past the 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Now it's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. He got him a big chunk of that yardage back, but even with that effort, it'll still be 3rd and long.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Run you over. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59. You're right.
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
6-yard loss. It's 4th down.
Corey Vedvik on to punt the football. Back deep, Antonio Brown. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. A first update now out of Jacksonville. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A Raider first down, 17 yards.
48 for Mike.
First down, Raiders.
Carr now on first down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's Carr to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he'll be taken down at the 26. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26.
First down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Ravens' 26-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Carr. Going for it all. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Bailey's kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Jalen Richard, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
They're not ready for this. They still playing.
They go play action now. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Jackson. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The intended receiver, Tavon Austin. And that takes us from second to third down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing on third and long. Jackson buying time to his left. The product of Jersey City, Tahir Whitehead on the sack. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Nearly a huge return. As it is, still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Monday, down. You ready? Right now, let's go. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength. You're mine. You got
Here's Jacobs on first and 10. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for second down.
Back at the 48-yard line.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on second and 14. Carr going to throw. This will be caught by Brown. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Raiders on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's third and 3. Working from the gun, it's Carr. They're able to locate Wilson. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Carr now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it first and 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Down. 180. Yo. Hey, watch it. Tighten up.
On first down, it's Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Here we go. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. His defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Got a man. It's Brown. And he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Here's first and goal, and gosh, points here. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
This is fielded at the goal line. Around the NFL, they're into the second quarter in the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll try and keep you updated on those events and others around the league as we continue through this one. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. They'll run here with Eckler. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Towards the end zone for Brown. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Draw play. It's Eckler. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. On third down, here's Eckler. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
You don't want no problem with me. A loss of a yard. It's 4th down.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Jackson now. The ball comes out.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing is Jackson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
At the Raiders' 2-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Austin Eckler, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
From the gun, Jackson. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Well, they had to run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Wilson has it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
What now?
They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
on 2nd and 12. Carr looking for his running back, and he's got him.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Washington on 3rd and short. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. If they needed a break, they needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Jackson. Rolling to his right. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun completes it to Austin. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll try the right side with Eckler. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. To throw is Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And out of bounds right around the 20.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Austin Eckler, his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Ravens get a bit closer. So he visits pay dirt for a second time. Unfortunately, they're still down on the big board.
And I wonder what's going through his mind right now. Playing hard, making big plays. That wasn't a small run by any stretch of the imagination either. To find the end zone for the second time, yet his team still down. They need more of that from him and a little help from the defensive guys.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go. At their own 26-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a two-score game, the interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw with this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 32-yard line.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Carr on the give. It's Washington.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. Well, he's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Ready? With the flag. Check, 59. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Here's Jackson to throw. Dancing to his left. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Mike, check, 59. I don't think you got it, son.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack there to Arden Key. So now with a little over 2 minutes to play, the road back gets very difficult.
difficult, but still not impossible if they go ahead and play this thing out. Now the defense has to come up big. They've got to go for the strip of the football on each and every snap to try and give themselves a chance.
Here's Carr, and he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. "22 yards there, a first down."
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And it'll be second and goal. They'll try to counter with Washington. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll run with Jacobs. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This to make it a 3-score game late. Bailey's kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
The Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. On the ground, it's Eckler. He's got a first down and more past the 30. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Austin Eckler, 81 yards. And the Ravens cut into that lead. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That third one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Operating from the gun, Jackson looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. And they take a knee. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And this, not always an easy proposition, Charles. You had a West Coast team that traveled east, but they got the job done.
And there's so much that goes into it because your body time and your body clock different from what you're used to west, because if you go east, you're going to lose up to 3 hours. Right? So is your body going to be awake when it's time to play? A lot of teams actually rehearse it. They practice it. Maybe the week of the game, they move everything up to that time frame so guys get used to doing it that way. I remember when I played at Tennessee, when we had to go from east to west, our trainer Tim Karen said, leave your watches on East Coast time. Every piece of information we got was East Coast Standard Time. Try to psychologically tell us what to do.